After Spider-Man and Bruce Banner are accidentally transported to another reality, the two end up coming across an injured variant of Peter called the Amazing Spider. Peter then helps his injured variant, and after Amazing asks to be taken to his spider car and then to his web nest, Peter realizes that this variant had a secret spider cave full of technology, along with many trophies and souvenirs from the villains he had defeated. Amazing then asks our Spider-Man for a favor, and questions if he could take on the mantle of the Amazing Spider until he recovered from his injuries. And as soon as Peter agrees and wears Amazing's suit to fight crime, he quickly notices that the spider of this reality was so powerful that villains didn't even try to fight back, and most just gave up their crimes when they saw him coming, even discovering later that Amazing had already defeated villains like Thanos and Galactus all by himself. However, after Peter goes to replace Amazing at his job in Parker Industries, he ends up discovering not only that Amazing monitored his variants, but also that Gwen Stacy and Uncle Ben were alive, deciding then to meet with Ben to talk a bit about that reality. Peter now comments on how his uncle was killed, and Ben says that he was also shot but survived to train his nephew. Peter then remarks how lucky Amazing was, but Uncle Ben says it wasn't about luck, and that with great power comes the great responsibility to remain powerful. Peter starts laughing, saying he got the phrase wrong, but after he drinks the tea May brought him, he begins to feel dizzy and faints in a few seconds, shortly after being awakened by Ben and revealed that he had been captured and imprisoned by Amazing, who was only so powerful because he was absorbing the powers of several of his variants that he kidnapped. Peter now says that Amazing didn't deserve to be called a hero, and that he was just a murderer, but when Amazing responds that he had the responsibility to stay powerful, Peter asks at the cost of how many lives, and Amazing attacks him, super irritated, saying that it wasn't his problem. Uncle Ben then yells for Amazing to finish Peter off right away, but as soon as Spider-Man appeals him emotionally, asking if he still considered himself a hero, Ben gets even angrier and decides to finish the job himself. However, when he was about to strike Peter, Amazing decides to save him and ends up being hit in his place, sacrificing himself to protect him and leaving evil Uncle Ben devastated.